villagers. Welcome to PTV Live. Well, PTV3D. Hope you're all doing well. I think I just saw Cynthia here in the stream. How are you doing, everyone? Here, let me show you a little camera work here. We are right now in the parking lot of one of our local Costco's. Doug is in line at the moment to go renew our membership. I'm pretending to be Steve. I'm laminating things. Cynthia. Very good. Yeah, that's our script for today. I've got it on my iPad in front of me. So all my notes are written. Got some interesting notes for today. It is April 3rd, 2020. And hey, Todd, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Last night was epic, Cynthia. I guess the word that they used on the show, the movie Clueless, was cavelling. Hello, Dougie. Good to see you. Dougie might be coming to California sometime, and we will be meeting with him, of course. Even though he says that after 5 minutes we might regret it, I doubt that very much. Hello, Carlos. Thank you for joining. It is good to see you here. For those of you, if you look at Carlos's icon, you'll see that it is a mouse head for autism. It's not even just autism awareness, it is now autism acceptance as well. Hello, Freedom. Hello, Jim. Season's greetings. Mike Wheeler, good to see you. I have changed my icon on Twitter and Instagram to reflect that it is Autism Acceptance Month. And that was because Carlos asked me through a challenge to do so, and I was more than happy to do so. Donna Jaworski, welcome to the stream. Hello. Good to have you here. And yeah, to get back to it, Cynthia, yes, yesterday was absolutely epic. Unbelievably shocking. Ben was just jaw-dropped by the whole thing. I'm still completely gobsmacked by the whole thing as well. So everyone, thank you so much again. So we're trying to think of something that we can do, but to help say thank you to everyone. Hey, hello, Pearl. Welcome to the stream. It is good to see you. It's April 3rd. Let's go ahead and get started with the Daily Dose. Choo-choo. Yes, indeed. It was the choo-choo train yesterday. Fisher Fund Ventures, welcome. Good to have you here. I am right now looking at April 3rd as the day that I am here. And hopefully the radio in the next to me is not going to be a problem with the broadcast. I hope everyone can still hear me. I'm doing okay. Let me see if I can't roll up the window so that it stops that sound, because I don't want that sound to disrupt us. She is not turning off a car yet, so let me go ahead and take care of that. Let's see. Yeah, that took care of the noise. Sorry about that, everyone. I'll be in and out of chat. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. Mar, great to see you. Thank you. It's April 3rd, 1941. On this day, Walt Disney hosted a luncheon at his office. And it was a conference for his studio for government officials and representatives of defense industry. And that's because he saw a studio strike coming. There was going to be a strike, and he knew it. So Disney Addicted, welcome to the stream. He saw that the strike was looming, and he felt an urgency to obtain some government work because he wanted to make sure that he could still pay the bills while things were going on, because he knew something would happen with this. Disney Addicted, yes. Hello, villagers. Thank you so much. So that was 1941. 1953. This is a very interesting one. After a while, Walt really considered himself more of losing his identity and becoming more of a product. And it was probably a result of this particular thing that he did on this day in 1953. He signed a contract so that Walt Disney Productions could use his name. It was actually incorporating the rights and license to use Walt Disney's name for all commercial purposes. So for instance, Disneyland, Walt Disney World, Walt Disney Presents, The Wonderful World of Disney. All these were possible because he had a contract that was signed on this date in 1953. It's just a 2-page document, but it gave the studio permission to use his name for all identity. So in other words, he was no longer Walt Disney the person, he was Walt Disney the product. Nathan Staker, good evening. It is good to see you. Welcome to the stream. So that was a very interesting thing. So he would sometimes talk to people in the park, and he would actually mention that. At least that's what I've heard in the past. Oh, good question, Amy. Old version. Old version. I will get to that toward the end of the stream. So stick around, everyone, when she's talking about that darn cat. So 1966. Here's another interesting one. This is regarding an attraction at Disneyland, the Midget-Atopia. Have you ever heard of that? Well, I knew of it. That's just because I'm such a big Disney fan. At that time, there was the Atopia in Tomorrowland, the Fantasyland Atopia, and then this was the Midget-Atopia, which was also Fantasyland, but they had to close it on this day. They had to make room. Oh, excuse me for just a sec. Doug's getting back to the car. Let me unlock the trunk for him. There it goes. And did you see Doug walk back there? And there goes the trunk. So, the Midget-Atopia opened, or rather closed on this day at Disneyland in 1966. And that's because they needed a portion of that land so that they could make a nice wide path, or what they call now Small World Mall. And that path took you from right now where Storybook Land Canal Boats and the Mad Tea Party are, and you walk up a walkway and it takes you to It's a Small World. It used to be just a straight path, but now it's more of a curving path with standing areas for parades and lighting and things like that. That was all installed for light magic, but I'll explain that at another time. But the Midget-Atopia closed on this day in 1966. And Walt Disney took that and he donated the cars and everything regarding the Midget-Atopia to the city of Marceline, Missouri. And they opened it in a park that was named after him in Marceline. It was open on July 4th, 1966, but unfortunately they had to close it some 11 years later due to insurance and maintenance costs. Now the cars that they had for the Midget-Atopia, I'll tell you, they'd be worth a fortune right now. Unfortunately, because of how things were done, they just took the cars and put them in a barn on the old Disney farm in the area. And the cars basically just disintegrated. They fell apart and disrepair, and nothing was ever done with them. I find that tragic, but very sad. But unfortunately, that is what happened to the cars of the Midget-Atopia. Yeah, Jennifer, I agree. It is sad. Hello, lovely people. So, 1976, on this day, a television special ran, and it was actually sponsored by Monsanto. They were a big sponsor of Disney at that time. They had lots that they had done at Disneyland, and in this case, they were still sponsoring Adventure Through Inner Space. But on this day, they sponsored a television show which was hosted by a guy named Red Skelton, very big in the 50s and 60s on television. And it was a presentation of America on Parade. They showed the parade. This was the type of parade that Walt Disney World and Disneyland substituted in place of the Main Street Electrical Parade, which had been running till 74. Then they took it away, and in 75 and 76 they ran America on Parade, but then back in 1977 they brought back the Main Street Electrical Parade. So that was in 1976 on this day, that special for America on Parade. 1985 on this day, the Brown Derby. You've heard of that restaurant. You know, most of you have probably eaten at the Brown Derby in Disney's Hollywood Studios. At the time they built it was Disney MGM Studios. But on this day in 1985, it closed in Hollywood. The location on Vine Street closed. So I don't know if it was at Hollywood and Vine or what, but it was at Vine Street. I must say, I absolutely love... Thanks, Richard. Welcome to the stream, Richard. I must say, I absolutely love the Brown Derby. I love the Cobb salad. And one of my favorite desserts ever that I've had at Walt Disney World is that grapefruit cake. I just find that delicious. 1992, on this day, Disney's Hollywood Pictures, one of the divisions of the Walt Disney Company, released a movie called Straight Talk starring Dolly Parton and James Woods. Dolly Parton is a radio talk show person, but that's about all I know about that movie because I've never seen it. So maybe some of you have seen it, but I have not myself. So yeah, this day, Straight Talk. And then sad news on this day in 1994. This was actually very tragic. I remember when it happened. Ben was already living in Southern California, and he and I talked on this day because of this. Disney president and COO, Chief Operating Officer Frank Wells, was killed on this day in a tragic helicopter accident. He was killed in an area called Nevada's Ruby Mountains. He was actually skiing, where you are helicoptered into a place and you go skiing. Well, it was a tragic accident, and the Disney company was never the same. It caused a huge rift between Michael Eisner and Jeffrey Katzenberg, and as a result, they split apart as well. So Jeffrey Katzenberg was no longer with the company. He split off and started DreamWorks SKG with Steven Spielberg and David Geffen, which is Spielberg, Katzenberg, and Geffen. That's what the SKG stands for. You can still see a tribute in the Matterhorn bobsleds for Frank Wells. When you are going by a certain area of the attraction, up on top, you'll see a wreck of a bobsled that was broken and supposedly attacked by the abominable snowman in the Matterhorn. And there's a little box there that says Wells Expedition. And that's what that's referring to, the fact that he loved to climb mountains. I think he climbed all the mountains of the highest peaks of all the world and all the continents, didn't he?
I think that's a legend. I don't know if it's confirmed.
I'd have to confirm that.
He was a wild guy. He was a high risk taker.
Yeah, he was.
He was known to do it. He was always doing stuff that was of very high risk.
Yeah.
Now,
Definitely.
after that, it was showed in Hollywood that they didn't like if you were known to be extreme or an extreme adventurous, you can no longer take a high position of a company.
Yeah.
And Wells was started it, so you'll find
that was the impetus for that decision.
Yeah.
1996, on this day, the city of Anaheim. Oh, Jim's wearing a blue shirt too.
We're very blue.
We're very blue today.
The world is blue.
Yeah. Hey, Cynthia's saying, psst, Doug.
CYNTHIA.
Yes. Yes, it is Cynthia. Oh, she's wearing blue too. Okay, so on this day in 1996, Anaheim, the city of Anaheim and Walt Disney Company agreed to a deal that would keep the Anaheim Angels playing in Anaheim. That stadium was very close to our apartment when we were living in Southern California. Oh, and Ben's in his black I Want My PTV shirt. Oh my gosh. Oh, Cynthia, thank you so much. That was not necessary. She just gave us a $1.99 super chat as a thing.
CYNTHIA.
Yes, he did remember how to spell. Thank you, Cynthia. Thank you so much for the super chat for $1.99. That was so much appreciated. Thank you.
It's like a dog trick. You do something and I will spell your name.
So anyway, this agreement went through with the city of Anaheim, and they agreed $88 million was committed by Disney and $30 million by the city to renovate the baseball stadium so that it would, oh my gosh, she just gave another $1.99.
CYNTHIA.
Oh, Cynthia, that is not a positive reinforcement. That it's not necessary. Thank you so much, Cynthia.
Behavioral
Really.
modification kind of thing.
Thank you very much for that super
Thank
chat.
you very, very much. Might as well be goofy about
they
it.
They did this 3-year renovation at the stadium so that it would be a baseball exclusive facility. And they just did a great remodel of it. And while it is an older stadium than the Oakland Coliseum, it feels much newer than that. It's really nice. And oh my goodness, she did it again.
CYNTHIA.
Cynthia. Cynthia, thank you so much. Why are we in a car today? We are actually running errands this afternoon. We had to go to Costco and we did a little meetup to exchange something. But you'll learn more about that next week for Life with Ben.
We have to get provisions because
we're running out of some things. So we had to go to Costco to grab some things. Anyway, that is next Doug will be spelling Cynthia when a bell rings like Pavlov's dog. Yeah, we had all sorts of Costco goodness. It had actually been 2.5 weeks since we'd been to Costco.
Yeah,
Almost 3.
we just, since we were out, we had to come out this way of the county and to meet up with Ben and Sherry. So we just figured to go to places that we don't really want to go close to our house. So.
Mike Wheeler, that's very true. You don't want us to get all misty here in public. Thank you,
No,
Mike.
yeah.
So anyway, that was 1996. On this day in 2001, there was an interchange that was built between the Osceola Parkway and Interstate 4. So I-4 and the Osceola Parkway had an interchange built, and it was opened on this day, and it alleviated congestion getting to Walt Disney World. The interchange was built at a cost of $33 million, and that bill for that project was shared between Orange County and Walt Disney World. And this is just another commitment that Disney has for helping the infrastructure to get to their properties a little easier. The same thing was done around the same time for Disneyland, where they had a major upgrade of the freeway. And you can actually exit the freeway from a carpool lane going to Disneyland. And it's very interesting because when you do, you pretty much drive right into the parking structure for Disneyland. It's actually very well done. Yes, we did a drop off at Chick-fil-A, just like Ben said.
Yes.
2014, on this day, the last episode of a TV series called Once Upon a Time in Wonderland aired. They did 13 episodes for the series. Doug and I saw one episode of the series, and we weren't that impressed with it, so we did not really watch it. We loved Once Upon a Time, except for the last season. Yeah, chicken crack. Definitely chicken crack.
Yeah, I needed to get filet.
Chick-fil-A is definitely crack. Yeah, it is. Oh, Jennifer, yes, we love this group too. We absolutely love everyone here. Our village is wonderful.
You guys are all so goofy.
Yes, everyone, thank you. So that was that. And then on this day also, 2020, actually, today, if you have Disney Plus, and I highly recommend that you get it, Disney Nature Films are releasing 3 films. They released Elephant, Dolphin Reef, and also a film that was released in the theaters last year, Penguins. These are all new for this month for celebrating Earth Month, because Earth Day is going to be later this month in April. So that happened today. And then, my niece got me hooked dipping my fries in that Polynesian sauce is delicious. It really is. I love doing the little morning potato, like they're almost like tater tots.
Yeah, supposedly, they're going to put that out where you can go buy it.
Sauce.
So
yes, Ben,
I don't know where store, but I slowly but surely they said they're going to do that.
And then finally on this day, Disneyland and Walt Disney, they announced that they're going to be furloughing the cast members later this month. In some cases, it's actually already started. If they do not have a union position, the furloughs are starting. But they are in the process of doing it with all of them. And starting on April 19th, they are going to be furloughed. And it's a very high percentage of the 175,000 resort cast members that they have at Disneyland and Walt Disney World. Oh, yes, Jim, that's right. Onward. Onward was also released on Disney Plus today. So that also happened. The one thing that I must say about this that I'm very happy for the cast members is that health benefits are going to be covered for the cast members during their furlough. So that's as of right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I hope that they can maintain that for the duration of the furlough, because we don't know how long that's going to be. We just don't. Hello, Surfer Girl. Welcome to the stream. Thank you for being here. So that's about all I have. I did mention That Darn Cat, and that's because it was discussed in the stream. That Darn Cat is the 1965 movie that was put up by Walt Disney Productions. That is going to be part of the Disney Plus Movie Club. And that part is going to be this Monday night, April 6th. So be prepared. Make sure on Disney Plus, watch the movie, That Darn Cat, and check out details and things. Make sure you pay attention to the film, because we're going to be asking questions for a trivia contest for That Darn Cat on Monday night. That's for the Disney Plus Movie Club on PTV Live, only on PTV. I guess that is about it for news. Thank you to all of my moderators here today. And yes, Mike, thank you so much. More merchandise is going to be coming to the Spreadshirt shop. I was actually doing some cleanup today on that and taking a look. And oh my goodness, what is that? Think your furlough out there is different than ours during the virus. If staff in the UK are furloughed, the government is paying 80% of the wages. That's not the case with you guys, is it? No, it's not. They are giving a percentage, but you have to apply for it. It's just not automatic. I'm not exactly sure how it's all going to work. But I do know that some unemployment sites have actually crashed in some states. It's very unfortunate, but it's just that the whole system is overwhelmed. So that's the best we can say about that right now.
I'm overwhelmed
Yeah,
because I have to pee.
Doug has to pee. Oh, so sorry about that, Doug.
I know.
We'll get that taken care of as soon as possible. Everyone, also, support channels. Thank you so much. The Orlando guy, More Sunshine, please. I've seen both here. Thank you so much for being here and for all your help. We also have Two Real Geeks, D&G Explorers, and Rob Fuzz. So, everyone, thank you so much for being here with this for this edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. And again, Cynthia, thank you so much for the super chat.
Yeah, thank you, CYNTHIA. I really appreciate it.
It's very much appreciated, Cynthia. So thank you so much, everyone, for that.
I can't blow kisses because it's just unsanitary.
So, everyone, thank you so much for this time that you spent with us here at the Daily Dose. We'll be back tomorrow with another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you so much. But we will be back tomorrow. Oh yeah, Spillin' the Disney Tea is on tonight, isn't it? At 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Spillin' the Disney Tea. That's usually hosted on the Mickey Bunch. So check that out too. Yes, Noah, thank you. And Noah, as always, thank you so much for everything you do for us on Twitter, for the Power Channels. Really appreciate that. Okay, everyone, we got to get going. Everyone have a wonderful evening. We'll see you tomorrow with another edition of the Daily Dose of Disney at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. In the meantime, everyone, have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Ciao.
Bye, everyone.